What's good? How y'all doing? Today we're finna reacting to this monster video will change everything. Now, first of all, I want to say y'all, if y'all have not watched Monster the anime, go fucking watch that shit. Like I said in the Aniano Koji video, I think that's how you say his name. I linked, you know what I'm saying, the anime down below on some shit. Not the anime. I linked the website down below. It's free anime, virus free, all that shit free. You feel me? Or some shit like that. But y'all need to go watch Monster. This nigga Johan, Dr. Tim, nigga Johan, bro. To me, nigga, at least top 10 antagonists of all time, my nigga. No cap. Top 10 villains all time. You feel me? Without further ado, we come up to the video. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's hop right to the bit.
Now you may not understand Monster right now, but after this video you will.
Who can fight a monster that corrupts everything it comes close to, no matter the age, gender, or
This nigga was
societal
catching
standing?
bodies,
It would take
pulling
a
the
man
fuck out of
dedicating
everybody.
his life to a profession solely to help people, to undo the damages the monster has caused. A selfless man like Dr. Tenma.
In the beginning, when the woman comes up to Tenma, who is given the orders to save a different person than her husband, the woman cries and begs for her husband to be brought back, but it's already too late. At the dining table with Ava Heinemann, his wife, he talks about how it wasn't his responsibility if the woman's husband died, because he wasn't in charge, and she agrees with this, but she has a different interpretation. Not all people's lives are equal. This same phrase is often used in the series, and the main part of Tenma's character. We see this when she says this, and this shakes Tenma to the core, to the point he chooses to save a little boy over saving the mayor. Johan is brought to the hospital. Because of these combined factors, Dr. Tenma saves a monster. By saving this monster, Dr. Tenma ends up losing his position in his own job, and even loses his wife. As a doctor, he is supposed to be empathetic, and only ever have the patient's health in mind, among many other reasons. This is why Tenma stands out from the rest. Most of the doctors are looking for a good promotion and more money, while Tenma only ever wanted to help out of the goodness of his heart. He is exactly the right person to take down a monster.
When I hear monster, I think of a big, vile creature with claws, fangs, and a stare terrifying enough to scare a grown man. Johan has beautiful hair, a soothing voice, and soft facial features, coupled with kind eyes and a welcoming smile. He's well dressed and spoken. You would never expect this handsome man to harbor ill will towards anyone.
Johan in the series of Monster is barely shown compared to other characters. He is a shadow, a ghost. People are trying to find a man with different identities, different lives, and most importantly, someone with no real name.
And I saw a beast rising out of the sea, having 10 horns and 7 heads, and on its horns were 10 diadems, and on its heads were blasphemous names, and the dragon gave it his power and his throne and great authority. They worshipped the dragon, for he had given authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast, and who can fight against it?" What can be seen as a meaningless quote is actually one that could describe Monster.
Johan in the series is a devil-like person. He uses the monster inside of people to make them commit terrible acts. The monster inside of people is their worst traits, or what you could call the evil inside of them. Throughout the show, Johan uses their worst traits in a way like when he tempted an alcoholic to give into his past sins to off himself.
Bro,
How he used Edmund
when he did this shit, my bad. Yeah, I'm eating some. But when he did this shit was crazy. Like 9,000, infinite thousand, infinite number, 1 billion IQ and some shit, bro. You tricked this nigga. You manipulated this nigga. Bro, what the fuck, bro? To jump off the goddamn roof, my nigga? That's crazy.
Farin's guilt of being a fake son of Shuval to push him to suicide. How Johan uses murderers to murder. Johan uses the worst in people, like how the devil tempts people by using their dark qualities, which causes the fall of humanity. As humans, we are prone to temptation, as wants and needs are a core part. Monster really likes to delve into this concept through the monster that lurks within. This is shown further on when an angry Dr. Tenma is talking to Johan that is pretending to be sleeping, and he spouts his belief against the idea that all lives are not equal, and further explains his dislike towards the director, aka his boss, and also Ava's father. He yells that he'd be better off dead. Johan hears all this, and later will murder the director and the other corrupt doctors. This is shown as just an angry moment from Tenma. People will look over this, but it's not just that. We see Tenma fall into alcohol and spout the same beliefs. This is important because alcohol stifles reasoning skills and contemplating repercussions. As a result, people are more likely to tell the truth while intoxicated, offering up brutally honest, unfiltered opinions. And without the fear of consequences, alcohol can give people the courage to do or say things they ordinarily wouldn't entertain. In episodes 2 to 3, Tenma wishes for Dr. Heinemann to die. While this could be seen as a spur-of-the-moment reaction through anger, he does truly want this. At the bottom of his heart, that's his bit of evil. When he's drunk, he keeps repeating the things he truly believes, like his belief that all human lives are equal, and how power doesn't matter. And in chapter 4, even when he's sleeping, this is once again important, as Tenma's subconscious even wants this. His inner monster was shown, and it led them to actually dying, due to him coming to the devil, which he thought was just a boy.
Another hint in Monster using the Christian references as a main part of Johann is the way he murders. Johann is a man that can end anyone's life with just words. He can do this through manipulation. He does this using your inner monster along with isolating you. We saw this with the killer that Johann uses in chapter 17, where Tenma disagrees with the idea of erasing a past. The killer stops and wonders why he believed this. The reason this was added in this conversation was to show that Johann isolates people. After talking to Tenma, he still ends up ending his own life because of the sins gathering and his worth being gone. Same with Detective Richard and the famous drinking scene. Johann is once again isolating him up on the rooftop while putting the sins on his back to make him end his life.
Throughout Monster, different motives change, but it isn't actually presented, like Johann's change after he read The Nameless Monster, Anna's action each time she gained her memories back, and even Tenma's actions when he is an accused murderer. This part of Monster was Tenma's character journey. He went to the if you gaze into the abyss gazes also into you type of development.
Who is like the beast, and who can fight against it? This particular text is meant to raise the question of how exactly do you deal with an evil man like Johann? Do you become just as evil to take him down? How are you supposed to defeat the evil with no sense of remorse? Wer mit Ungeheuern kämpft, mag zusehen, dass nicht dabei zum Ungeheuer wird. Und wenn du lang in einen Abgrund blickst, blickt der Abgrund auch in dich hinein. To beat the monster, you have to be like the monster.
When Tenma is accused of murdering the people Johann has been murdering, the director specifically, Tenma starts to go down the path of learning to take down the monster. He goes to many places to find out who is the monster. This leads him to many places throughout the series, including the Taboo Orphanage, named 511 Kinderheim, the Free Frogs, the Red Rose Mansion, and many other things such as the book named The Nameless Monster. All this builds into making a monster, much as his philosophy seems to run on nihilism. There's nothing special about being born. Not a thing. Most of the universe is just death, nothing more. In this universe of ours, the birth of a new life on some corner of our planet is nothing but a tiny, insignificant flash. Death is a normal thing, so why live? Johann's nihilism is just that, killing, and it comes even more with his nihilism, which is the picture book, The Monster by No Name, which leads to the creator of that book, Franz Bonaparte or Klaus Pope. He mainly told children some terrifying and nihilistic stories, mainly to change their perspective of the world, to make them believe everyone and everything is evil and such. Not only this, but this helps as the ending of Monster we see the hallucination of Tenma and how Johann wonders about his mother's choice. So the mother's choice plus the Nameless Monster was enough to hit Johann with a different perspective on life. Now back to Bonaparte. It wasn't explained much in the main series of Monster, but many of his students ended up committing suicide, or they just had several issues with their families/wives and children. Basically, he brainwashed them. Bonaparte is an extreme weirdo. His dad died just because they found the same woman attractive. Also, a main factor, Bonaparte is a true monster. Many described him as such in Another Monster and also the series. Later on, when Bonaparte gains more humanity, Johann becomes a bigger monster than him. Therefore, the monster devoured the monster. And the dragon gave it his power, and his throne and the great authority. They worshipped the dragon, for he had given authority to the beast. To Kenzo Tenma, all humans are equal, and Johann Liebert believes that all lives are equal too, but in a different way. Johann sees all of them as equal. He can kill a murderer the same way he can kill a politician. In death, they are equal.
Tenma is the opposite of Johann, making him the only person to be able to resist his spell. This is why in the end, after all their time chasing a seemingly untouchable beast, Tenma is still not able to finish off Johann. He had his life ruined and was framed for acts he never even thought of committing. He's the single reason the man with the monster inside him could grow big. The guilt of sad actions has haunted him ever since. Yet still, he couldn't take Johann's life, because Tenma will believe in the good side of a person, the uncorrupted, innocent side every person was born with. He knows Johann was not at fault for who he is today, or so he likes to think.
At the end of Monster, in the final shoot-off, Johann wants Tenma to become a monster, and Tenma wants Johann to become a human. The question of the true monster lies within humans. Human nature, that's all. Humanity as we have it all within us. To become the monster. It is only our positive upbringings and our social that keeps us from descending into the spiral.
The doctor was never gonna pull the trigger. By not doing so, he was able to beat the curse of the monster. Making Tenma off him would be Johann's magnum opus. Johann was shot by a father wearing the mark of the beast, and of course, who was volunteering to save his life yet again?
10 horns and 7 heads is what the father says as he is about to shoot Johann. This is like how they mentioned this in the beginning and everything I've been talking about. The author links it all up, all plot lines. The dragon described in earlier passages is Satan. In other words, devil worship will accompany the rise of the beast from the sea. Worshippers will realize that Satan empowered the beast, but they will also worship the beast. This worship is the deification of a man. The worshippers assume that the beast is so powerful that no one can fight against it. The worshippers are the neo-Nazis in Monster and how they worship Johann Liebert, but they also mention that Johann is unstoppable. These are the people that make Johann seem like this world-ending threat and can do crazy things on a larger scale. This is why people also think Monster's ending with Johann's goal was kind of lackluster, when in reality, you're just looking at what everyone says about Johann at face value.
That nigga was shook.
Tenma and Johann's final battle is an ideological one, and throughout the series you see this. Which will turn into a human or a monster. This is what Monster is, not a thriller with an anticlimactic ending, but rather a thriller with a story that teaches others to not give in to your dark side. That only a good, pure heart will stand victorious, whereas a
Nah, though. Bro. Honestly, in my opinion, Johann, I mean, look, bro. Look at the environment he grew up in. You feel me? He was in that damn foster home, and they did fucked up bad shit there. You feel me? Fucked up bad shit. Like, experiments, all that shit. And I feel like, I mean, yeah, it's partially his fault, partially not. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't know, you can argue either way. But, yeah, like, shit, I was just like, bro, let me just react to some monster video, bro. I ain't saw Monster. I ain't thought that Monster in a bit. But appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all let me know any other video y'all like to me react to, and I will see y'all in the next video.